Welcome students back to another Perfect English quick writing video. This one is going to be a little bit faster than the last, I think, where we have a picture, and what we need to do is 120 words, describe the picture and talk about how it makes us feel. So let's take a look at the picture. So in the picture we can see a large group of people. Maybe these are a bunch of students. You can see backpacks. They appear to be young. Many of them look like they're wearing something similar, maybe a uniform. And they're walking through a field of flowers. Okay, so there is a sign in the picture, and I've got the translated English version of the sign here. If you speak Chinese, and you can just read the Chinese text on the sign, but I'll read the English version as well because I think it might be helpful here. Tourists are welcome to take photos of the flowers, but please try not to stomp on them. Thanks for your cooperation. So we have a good word here, tourists. I think that's relevant, and I'll add that to our vocabulary list below. And photos, maybe. Okay, we'll throw that in there just as a little, oh, thanks for your cooperation. I'm gonna leave that for now. So we got down here a list of a few vocabulary words that I thought might be useful for this, and I'll add tourists and photos to the list. So now what we have to do is come up with a quick writing assignment where we are going to describe the picture and talk about really how the picture makes us feel. So when you look at the picture, what do you think of? I think of school, because I think this is probably a school field trip. But maybe it's a family thing. Maybe this is something that families do on the weekends to relax. A lot of farms out there where you can go and pick flowers and things like that. This doesn't look quite like that kind of farm, but it seems like a similar experience where you can walk around and see all the beautiful flowers. So let's write about it. So describe the picture. How many people are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so that's great because I can use a word to describe 12. About 12 people are walking through a beautiful field of flowers. Okay, so there's the very first sentence, short description of what's going on. They look young. Many of them could be students. This might be a field trip for school. The weather looks good, although the photo is in black and white. The sign tells the students or tourists that they can take photos, but they should try not to stomp on the flowers. Okay, so that's the first part. I'm gonna highlight this real quick. All right, so what we got here is 63 words, so that's about half of what we need to write. So just on the description alone, I have covered half of what I need to write. All right, so now we have to talk about how it makes us feel. Okay, what do you feel when you see this picture? So I'm gonna jump into that. First I'll indent this paragraph and then indent this paragraph. Okay? This picture makes me feel relaxed. I also think it's kind of humorous. Humorous means funny because there is a girl taking a big step, trying not to step on the flowers. Let's show you what I'm talking about. This girl right here looks like she's taking a big step trying to avoid some flowers in front of her. A little bit of a funny pose. So humorous means funny. I would like to take my friends to walk through this field. I imagine the smell must be very fragrant. Fragrant means smells nice, okay? I think that I would not be good at walking cautiously, though. I would probably accidentally kill a lot of flowers, and that makes me a bit sad. Okay, so right here, I'm pretty sure I have already fit my 120 words. Let's take a look at what we have. So we have 140 words, and it didn't take us long. All right, that's what 120 words looks like, basically. You have a very clear description of what you need to do, describe the picture, talk about how it makes you feel. This is just one way to do that. Instead of doing it this way, you could also write it as though it's a story, especially this second paragraph. You could imagine it as a story and write it that way. You might also have a different opinion. You might say, I hate walking through flower fields because there's so many like dry twigs and thorns and they scratch your legs, and I'm allergic to flowers. You know, there are all kinds of different things that you can say about that. And I didn't use every single word that I put in this list, okay? But I tried to use some of them. So instead of using lovely, I use beautiful. I could change that now if I wanted to. I did mention photos. I think I mentioned tourists. I did say humorous. Amusing is another word for humorous. I think I said cautious, and I did say fragrant. So I got most of my words in. So let's break this down into a few tips before I let you go. When you see something like this, the first thing you do is think about it in your mind in the most straightforward way that you can. If you were supposed to write this in Chinese, how would you do it? What would you say? Okay, now look at the most complex words in what you said. What were they? Can you say that in English? If you can't, look it up. Now's a good opportunity to learn those words, because I'm not sure, but I think when you take this test in real life, they probably won't let you use your calculator or your cell phone or anything that can look up answers on the internet, right? So make sure you use the resources available to you now to start building your vocabulary. So after you know what words you want to use, start constructing sentences. The last tip I'm going to give you is about the word because, okay? Now, in Chinese, because follows a very different sentence pattern. We have because, blah, 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 so, blah, blah, blah. Now, that means that in Chinese, you say 因为, blah, 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 所以, blah, 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 but in English, we don't do that. We will say because in a sentence, and we will say so in a sentence, but they won't be in the same sentence. So take a look at this one. It's kind of humorous because there is a girl taking a big step. Okay? That's how you use it. I am tired because I worked hard. She is smart because her parents are doctors. We are tired, so we want to go home. I don't put because and so in the same sentence. All right, so that's just a little bit of a grammatical thing to remind you of at the end of this lesson. I hope that this was helpful to you. I hope it gave you some ideas about how to approach this in the future. And I hope that you have a great day. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.